Racing out of his father's shop in 1996 and 97, Dale Jr. finished his late model career with just 3 wins and 159 starts. But on the advice of Jr.'s uncle, Tony Urey, Dale Sr. took a chance on his son, eventually promoting him into the vacant seat at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated's Busch Series car in 1998.
His first race at Daytona was just an absolute disaster. He overshot his pit. He got laps down. Then he tumbled end over end.
Oh, now trouble. Dick Trickle gets into Earnhardt. Earnhardt's car goes over.
Young Earnhardt gets an unwelcome debut at Daytona.
But just 6 races later, Jr. won his first Busch Series race.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will do his daddy proud as he wins the Coca-Cola 300.
It was like a huge relief. Years of worry washed away. I had finally won a race at a big track, and my dad was there.
This stacks up right with the Daytona race, so it's pretty awesome. Looks like he's a chip off of Ralph Earnhardt's old block.
As soon as we won that first race, and we started sort of working together and talking about that career path.
That career path led to 13 victories and Busch Series championships in 1998 and 1999. NASCAR's top series awaited as the Phenom's early success landed him a 6-year sponsorship agreement with Anheuser-Busch. At the time, it was the richest deal in NASCAR history.
And how about this kid?
I gotta tell you, that's hero material right there.
But he's kicked those Clydesdales in a high gear.
In 2000, his first full season of Winston Cup competition, the rookie racked up 3 wins, including the Winston, NASCAR's prestigious all-star race. It was becoming a season in the sun for Dale Jr. and his dad.
It's just unbelievable how you feel when your kid does something great. It's pretty awesome to see him do this.
To be able to win on the same racetrack that his father was racing on, probably the greatest time of his life. He lived to live up to what his father expected of him.
Make Daddy happy. That's what number one, man. Number one is making Pops happy.
I'm sure Dale Sr. was invigorated by Junior's presence. All of a sudden, you got a kid there with you who's seeing this for the first time, and he's excited. Stuff that you used to get excited about, he's getting excited about.
And here comes Junior to the outside of Dad. The 2 Earnhardts racing for the lead in the Coca-Cola 600.
I think that especially Dale Earnhardt Jr. enjoyed it. And the harder his dad raced him, the better he liked it. It was almost like it became a little contest.
And I think when Dale Jr. got going, well, Dale Sr. wanted to be the best Earnhardt. You know, he didn't want to get upstaged by his kid.
At Bristol, when Dale Jr. kept beating on him, Dale said, "Richard, you go down there and tell him if he hits me one more time, I'm going to park him."
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said to me, "Why do you think Daddy was so mad today?" And I said, "Because you beat him." And he said, "He needs to get over it because it ain't going to be the last time."
I also remember him talking about Junior's going to have to be more patient and not be trying to take so much. And I would laugh, and he would say, "What are you laughing about?" And I said, "If you only knew how you sounded in saying that, because all he is you."
I think he looked at it and said, I'm going to make it on my terms and on my plan and on my roadmap. Yes, I'm my father's son, but I'm not a clone.
There was a lot of times where I still didn't do what he wanted me to. He wanted me to really go after it, grab this opportunity by the horns. And I just was having too much fun. I was like, man, nah, I'm not making this a whole lot of work. No way.
The drivers' meeting is just starting. Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Rusty Wallace were sitting together. And in walks this kid with his hat on backwards, sunglasses, long t-shirt, baggy blue jeans. And Rusty looks at Senior and he goes, "Who in the world dresses that boy?" And Dale Earnhardt Sr. just like shakes his head like, "I don't know. He is who he is, and that's what we accept him as."
Dad was able to start giving to Dale Jr. in terms of Dale being successful on the racetrack and getting that pat on the back from Dad.
We were definitely a lot more on an equal plane, where he would understand my conversations and I was understanding his. They were communicating and getting along a lot better and doing more things outside of racing. I think it meant the world to him because that's what it was all about.
Months before the 2001 racing season, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a dream so vivid that he was moved to tell the media about it.
He says, you know, I know it sounds crazy, but I've just had this dream that I am going to win the Daytona 500. I have this vivid image of me crossing the finish line, the checkered flag flying, and I'm the first one.
And they were like, well, where was your dad? And I was like, well, he wasn't in the top 10. I don't know. I didn't see him.
And everybody laughed because we thought what he meant was he was back. And to this day, I still get chills thinking about him saying he wasn't there at the end of the race.
Dale Jr. and I are working hard at trying to race better together. And I need drafting partners and, you know, things like that. And we're even going to run the 24 Hours of Daytona this year to even learn teamwork a little more.
In the run-up to the Daytona 500, father and son joined for the first time as teammates in the 24-hour road race. They finished second in their division and stood together at the Champagne Spray in Victory Lane.
I think if there was ever a point in Dale Jr.'s life where, okay, I've made it. I have my father's approval, his attention, his pride, his affection. Everything is there. It's been a hell of a rocky road up. But I'm here now.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
As the green flag fell on the 2001 Daytona 500, everything pointed towards successful seasons for the Earnhardts.
Challenge up front. New leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Look at Earnhardt, right down to the apron to take the lead.
In a wildly competitive race that had 49 lead changes, father and son spent much of their time out front. Then, with 16 laps to go, Michael Waltrip, driving a Dale Earnhardt-owned car, took the lead, followed by Dale Jr. and Dale Sr.
I knew my dad was back there behind me, and he wanted me to stay in line, but I was wanting to try to win.
Was this dream of his going to come true, that he was going to win the Daytona 500 and pass his teammate to do it?
Sterling's all over Dale Sr. This is a chess match at high speed.
I can see that Cheshire Cat grin on his face right now with those bubble goggles just going. That's my two teams, and that's my son and my best friend up there battling for this Daytona 500 win.
The 3 cars out. Oh, big trouble. Big right behind him. Lead him back. Come on. To the flag. Come on, Mike.
We were going through the corner, and I just happened to look in the mirror, and I saw the crash happening. You know, that's really the only thing I remember. I remember that and crossing the finish line.
Michael Waltrip wins.
This is great. I just hope Dale's okay. I guess he's all right, isn't he?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. at a dead run toward the track's infield care center.
Walked through there, and I didn't see anybody. Dad wasn't in there, and I did walk by a room, and Kenny Schrader was in there, and we just locked eyes for a second, and that's when I knew something serious was going on.
Dale Jr. and his stepmother, Teresa, rushed to Halifax Medical Center.
They were still working on him when I got there, you know, so that was hard. I don't know, that was just a hard deal. I don't know. That's something I don't think I'll ever be able to really share with anybody.
I think he was in a little bit of a shock, like a lot of shock. Like, I know it just happened. I'm not going to sign up to the fact that that just happened. I'm out of here. I don't want to remember seeing my dad laying on a metal table.
After the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
Nowhere was Earnhardt's loss felt deeper than in Kannapolis, North Carolina, where the family gathered after the crash. Within hours of his father's death, a different Dale Jr. joined them.
There was broken hearts.